How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Wi-Fi battle. Today we're going to battle versus Chris, also known as Pokemaster88, from the Discord server in the OU tier. Looking at the team, they got some threats. Bellybolt, you never sleep on Bellybolt. Moltres Galar can also be a massive threat in its own right. The Munkidori is... I'm still unsure what Munkidori does, to be honest with you. And Quackable, once he gets going, is hard to stop. So we've got to be careful with that. I think I might lead off with Pelipper. They probably lead off with Bellybolt, expecting the Pelipper lead, but, you know, it is what it is. If they do that, we'll just go to Goodra. So I think I'll go with Pelipper lead, and then straight into Goodra if they go with the Bellybolt lead. And the battle begins. Good luck, have fun, Pokemaster. So they're going to lead off with Munkidori, as we obviously led off with Pelipper. So it's not the worst matchup in the world. Definitely don't want to get hit by a Sludge Wave from this thing or a Psychic, because it's going to sting just a little bit, depending on the set, of course. So I think I'm going to go Goodra. Because this thing's typically special. I don't, like I said, I don't really know what Munkidori does. So, like, do you run it Choice Scarf / Choice Specs? Or, like, what? I don't know. So, we're going to Slippy real quick, the Goodra. You can definitely up any hit this thing goes for. They go for a Psychic, which is going to do nothing to us, of course. There we go. Goodra eats that up. They do get the Toxic Chain, though, which is unfortunate. As that means my Goodra's time is limited. But it's fine. We can drop a Draco now on whatever we want to. And I'm going to go ahead and just drop a Draco. So they go for a Nasty Plot, which is interesting. So Nasty Plot Munkidori is very interesting. I didn't know what it does, but, you know, Draco Meteor is still going to sting quite a lot, as it does nearly take it out, really. So that's pretty awesome. So after the poison damage, we are in a bit of a predicament right now. So Goodra should be able to handle this Munkidori with another Draco Meteor. But this next attack that it goes for is going to sting quite a bit. So they go for a Sludge Wave, which is going to do a good amount of damage now that they've got Nasty Plots up. But Draco Meteor should be able to. It does finish off the Munkidori, which is absolutely fantastic. So with the Munkidori out of the way, that's one less Pokemon for us to be worried about. As unfortunately, Goodra does go down to the poison this turn. So Slippy did good, though. It stopped the Munkidori. It was meant to be our, like, answer to the Galarian Moltres, but we do have Clefable for that, so that's not a big deal. So I'm going to go into Barraskewda now, because we outspeed everything, and we can flip turn if it's an unnecessary matchup. So they actually go into Serena, which is an interesting one. So Serena comes through. We go into Bullet the Barraskewda. So Barraskewda, obviously, we can't touch this Serena. I mean, I'm sure close combat will hurt a bit, but it definitely won't KO, and we'll Terra ground with Drill Run, so... let's go for a flip turn real quick and get on out of there. Get a bit of chip damage in the rain. It's still going to do some decent damage as it does. As there we go, Barraskewda can come back to us, which is absolutely fantastic. Gonna flip turn into my Pelipper, which can definitely, you know, do some stuff here. They go for a U-turn, though, which is going to get them some initiative, and they probably go into the Bellybolt right now, if I had to guess. Now, the key thing we have to remember here is that Bellybolt has a very interesting ability, which gives it the charge effect once it gets hit by an attack, so we don't want to U-turn on it, that's for sure. They actually bring in Moltres, though, so Moltres is a big threat in the rain. The rain's working against us here, because that Hurricane from that thing is going to sting quite a bit. So I think I'm going to go into Clefable, because Clefable is basically my one Pokemon that's going to be able to handle this Moltres somewhat well. Like I said, though, Hurricane's still going to sting. Hurricane is still going to sting. They actually have Air Slash, which is even better for us, because it means we're going to take that just a bit better. And looking at their team, they don't really have anything that wants to come in on this thing. On a Moonblast. So let's go for a Moonblast right away. So they go for another Air Slash, which is absolutely fair enough. They get a critical hit, which is unfortunate, as we go for a Moonblast now, which does half to them, which is going to activate that Berserk, but we have got the Unaware, so we're not too worried about that, as unless they get another critical hit with the Air Slash, we don't have to worry about this Moltres too much. So let's go for another Moonblast and hope they don't get a crit Air Slash again. So they go for an Air Slash, and it does take us out, so it didn't even need a critical hit. That's just low roll, high roll, I guess. So Clefable does go down, but it's fine. We can handle this, as we have the Barraskewda in the back, which we can Liquidation with, or we can go into the Bastia Legion and go for a Surf right now. Anything we want to do, really. Gonna opt to go into the Barraskewda, because I kind of want Barraskewda to get some more time in the sun. No, not in the sun, but you know what I mean. So I'm going to go for that Liquidation real quick, because there is not a lot really wants to take a Liquidation. The Serena doesn't really appreciate Liquidation too well. It should two-shot it from where it's at, as my opponent has no real choice but to let the Moltres go down to the Liquidation. So Barraskewda is off to a good start right now. Absolutely off to a good start. So the Moltres goes down. And the rain does stop on this turn, but we should be outspeeding pretty much everything on the team regardless. In comes the Serena. So unless this thing's Choice Scarf, which I don't think it is, we should flip turn here. But again, I feel like they might be Choice Scarfed. I don't know why. So I'm going to go into Pelipper Hard Switch real quick. They probably go for a U-turn, but, you know, it is what it is. Pelipper can get the rain back up, which is going to be very beneficial for us. So we'll go Pelipper real quick. There we go. Get that Drizzle up. And then they go for a Power Whip, which is going to sting. Actually nearly takes out Pelipper. So that's unfortunate right there. I don't really have a good switch in. So I'm going to have to just let Pelipper go down here. We'll go for a Hurricane just in case, though, as they do go for a Power Whip, which is going to take us out. And when I say just in case, I meant just in case the Power Whip missed. Because Power Whip has got a chance to miss. So, you know, you're better off going for the attacking move if that's going to benefit you. So, what we can do now is Basculegion can come in right now, and we can just go straight for that nice and powerful. We're nice and shiny as well. Gotta love it. We can go straight for that Ice Beam, which is definitely going to KO this thing. Or we can go for a flip turn, expecting the switch into Quackable. I think I'm going to go for the Ice Beam option. I feel like that's going to be very beneficial to us. Ice Beam comes through. That's probably going to take out the Serena. It does take out the Serena, as Basculegion claims a KO, which is absolutely amazing. So, they couldn't really switch anything in there, because the Quackable, if we went for the Shadow Ball, it would have two-shot it. They do bring in the Quackable now, though, which is good to note. That's terrifying in its own right. So what we can do now is we can go Barraskewda, because the thought process here is that we go Barraskewda, they go for an Aqua Step, we still outspeed them because of the rain. Swift Swim doubles your speed instead of 1.5 times. So we'll go Barraskewda. There we go. Nice and shiny, gotta love it. The Quackable's nice and shiny as well, I forgot about that. So they go for a Source Dance, which is very terrifying in its own right. We can do this, though. We just have to go for a Liquidation, get some damage off. They are going to Terra, though. What type are they going to Terra into? I mean, they were resisting water anyway, so let's see what they Terra into now. Terra Water, so they're going to get that extra power on the Aqua Step. It's definitely going to KO the Barraskewda, which means they get a +1 speed boost, as opposed to a plus... no, they +1 speed boost. They go for the Aqua Step, though. What I meant was if they went for 2 of the Aqua Steps to KO us, they would have got +2. But because they KO us now, they only get a +1 speed, which means Basculegion still outspeeds, which is like what we're going for here. So, with this thing, they get a Moxie, which is going to make them a +3 attack and +1 speed, which is terrifying. Absolutely terrifying, because this thing is an absolute monster. So we'll go Basculegion anyway. Basculegion can wall this thing pretty well. I'm pretty sure even at +3, I think we've got a good chance of living a Aqua Step. So let's go for that Shadow Ball real quick and get some serious damage off of this Quackable, and hopefully we don't get reverse swept by Quackable in the rain. So they do withdraw Quackable. What are they going to go into? Belly Bolts? Probably Belly Bolt, right? Belly Bolt, the Rank Master, comes in, which is definitely going to be able to take any hit we throw at it, because it's bulky as oats. As Shadow Ball does come through, it should still do a decent chunk of damage to the Belly Bolts, as it's actually a 2-hit KO, which is absolutely amazing, so that's great. They are leftovers, though, which is going to factor in. So I'm pretty sure Shadow Ball still KOs. So let's just go for it. Let's just go straight for that Shadow Ball. We are Choice Specs, which is why I'm locked into Shadow Ball, as opposed to going for a Surf here, which would obviously be more beneficial in the rain. Shadow Ball comes through, and it should get the KO on the Belly Bolt. It doesn't quite get the KO, which is extremely unfortunate, as Parabolic Charge is going to KO our Basculegion, giving them all that HP right back to half health. I should have switched out there into my Great Tusk and brought Basculegion in with the later. We've gone for a Surf, really, but it is what it is at the end of the day. So now it all comes down to Great Tusk. Can Great Tusk pull this back? I don't think it can. I really don't think it can. We can definitely get the KO on this Belly Bolt right now with an Earthquake, but I don't think we can win the game, as Belly Bolt does go down. Because that Quackable is going to come in and it's Terra Watered, it's definitely going to be able to get a KO on us. In comes the Great Tusk. So we have got a chance of winning this depending on the Great Tusk set. So we're Terra Water, which means we can definitely take any hit this thing wants to throw at us. If they're offensive and they go for an Ice Spinner right now, we're going to be able to eat it up. So I am going to go for that Earthquake real quick, and just to see if we can get some damage off, because Great Tusk could still pull this back. Great Tusk could very much pull this back. So let's see how this goes for us. So Great Tusk going to Terra Water, which is always nice. It does make us extremely resistant to the Quackable, which is great. As they go for their own Earthquake, which is going to do some decent chip damage, but because we're defensive, we're able to take it, as they take it just as well. So it's a showdown between two Great Tusks here. They're probably Rocky Helmet as well, like I am, as we are speed tying, so that's pretty interesting. So knockoff comes through. We get some Rocky Helmet chip off as well, as they do knock off our Rocky Helmet, which is unfortunate. But now we're ahead of the game when it comes to our Earthquakes. So Earthquakes come through. And this last part of the game is literally just going to be us spamming Earthquake each other and hoping that we do enough damage. There we go, I outsped, which is great, which means we get as much health as possible against the Quackable. And the Quackable could easily pull this back. Great Tusk might be making a massive comeback right now, though. So Quackable comes through. There we go. Quackable is here. We go for an Earthquake regardless of whatever we find. So they go for a Swords Dance. So they're basically guaranteeing that they can just KO us with the next attack. We go for an EQ. If we get a crit here, that'd be great. We don't get a crit, but we nearly get the KO with the Earthquake, which is crazy good. As this Quackable's probably going to KO us now with an Earthquake, with a close combat. So let's go for a knockoff just in case. We live. Close combat comes through, takes out Great Tusk, and because they knocked off our Rocky Helmet, we are no longer going to be able to win this game as the Quackable takes down Great Tusk. And that's going to be the game. So GG Pokemon. So that was a really close game. It was pretty fire. Great Tusk made an epic comeback there, but it just kind of wasn't quite enough to win the game. But that Great Tusk versus Great Tusk showdown was pretty awesome. So yeah, GG, man. But anyway, here is the team. If you want to try it out, use the code at the top right corner of the screen. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you did enjoy, of course, leave a like, subscribe, all that wonderful stuff. And with that being said, I'll see you all in a bit.